Wondering, if news media, so-called journalists or talking heads who just dutifully report the daily news, I'm wondering if they can be saved by the Christian faith if they don't take personal responsibility in what they report. An ethical aspect to it. You might say, "Oh, I'm a journalist. That's my duty to report whatever comes across the wires." Well, if that's the case, in some cases, the news that's being made has a political agenda. And if you say, as a so-called journalist, I must report it because that's my duty, even when you know in your inner self, your heart of hearts, that it's slanderous or not for a good journalistic ethical, I should not say journalist, but an ethical reason, an integral reason, a purposeful, meaningful reason. Well, I mean, that's something you have to take responsibility for. I mean, I don't buy this thing about, oh, we just here to report the news. Whatever is said, and that's not our place to decide whether we should report it or not. We just report it. Well, if you're reporting things that make people that are slanderous towards people, libelous, smearing, and it's just part of a non-stop political agenda on one side or another to make people look bad. Well, you're gonna have to. I think you'll be judged for that if you say you're a Christian. Now, I mean, if you're not a Christian, I can't. There's not much I can say apart from certain laws about how you report the news. There are some laws that protect people from libel or slander. But apart from that, I mean, if you're not a Christian, I can't reprimand you because you're not under the law of God. But for any of you so-called journalists who also say that you're a Christian or profess to be a Christian, you will, I think, be held responsible, apart from your so-called journalist duty to report the news. You'll be held responsible personally for what you report, how you report it, and what impact it has. So that's just my feeling, and I'm sure I could probably establish some kind of theological argument for that. But I'll leave it at that for now, and hope you'll think about that. And if it weighs on you the right way, that it'll be put into practice. In some cases, there's just professions you can't go into as a Christian because it makes too much. It's just too difficult to do it with integrity as a Christian. So in some cases, you'll have to walk away from that profession. Maybe you became a Christian after you became a journalist. Maybe you didn't know you were a Christian. You didn't really know what kind of dilemmas it would cause. Well, you might have to walk away from it if it's causing you to do things that are contrary to God's will.